A very good morning to all of you, Class 8. Welcome back to today's English recorded class. In this class, I will do a revision of the poem The Last Bargain. We did this poem yesterday. So we will discuss this poem again, and I will give you a few extra question answers, and we will discuss, as I told you, we will discuss the poetic device or the figure of speech which has been used in this poem. Okay, so the topic is, the name of the poem is The Last Bargain. The poet is Rabindranath Tagore, and the learning outcome is the theme of this poem, which is to understand that material things cannot buy us genuine happiness. Innocence, simplicity are the keys to happiness. So in the poem we saw how a man is looking for work to be hired, and when he is offered work by different people, he chooses the work which suits him the best. And what was that work, and what did he get in return? This is what happens in the poem, and the learning outcome. The learning outcome is that materialistic things cannot buy us permanent or genuine happiness. The poet is Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, I've explained this about Rabindranath Tagore from yesterday also. We'll just do a quick revision, and I told you to write a character sketch of the poet. He is also known as a Rabindranath Thakur, a very, very important figure in Indian literature, you can say. Okay, and he was a Bengali poet, story writer, song composer, playwright, essayist, painter, and who introduced new prose and verse forms and use of colloquial language in Bengali literature. Colloquial means the language which is used in normal speaking, and it freeing in from tradition. So it gave a new dimension to Bengali literature. He highly influenced Indian culture to the West, and also influenced the Indian culture, also introduced Indian culture, Western culture to Indians. He is regarded as the outstanding creative artist of early 20th century. He was the first non-Asian to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. He was the first non-European, not non-Asian. He was the first Asian, the first non-European, okay, to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. I asked you to write a little more about the poet, yesterday I also told you that Rabindranath Tagore, two of his songs has been adopted as the national anthem by two countries, one by India and one by Bangladesh. The figure of speech, the poetic device which is used in this poem. First is symbolism. Symbolism means an object or idea or a person means something deep and not what the word means. The word which is highlighted in blue, these are the lines. Stone paved road. The crooked lane symbolizes hard and difficult. Stone paved means the road which is made of stone, right? And it symbolizes a difficult path which the poet was traveling. The crooked lanes means the lanes are, not straight. There's twists and turns in the lanes are. It has twists and turns. So it symbolizes that the poet was traveling a difficult path. King in his chariot with sword in his hand symbolizes epitome of power. Okay, the king comes in his chariot with power, a sword in his hand. Okay, so it It is a symbolism of power, symbolizes power. An old man with a bag of gold, it symbolizes wealth. Okay, and a lady with a smile symbolizes beauty. Okay, so this is thing you need to remember. Alteration, it is a repetition of consonant sound in a line. I was walking, I wa. So there is a repetition of consonant sound, not vowel sound, consonant sound. The king came, ka, the sound of ka is being repeated. The sun glistened on the sand, sa, and the sea waves made me a free man. So this is called alteration. Okay, it's a repetition of consonant sound. So I want you, this also a very important part, please write this down in your notebooks. Now coming to the poem, discussed the poem yesterday. Okay, a bargain is an agreement between two parties, right, in which they promise to do something for each other, and there is an exchange of there is agreement to exchange something, right? It could be materialistic, it could be kind or in cash, right? So this is a bargain, and the poet is a man who is looking for a work, and he calls out, come and hire me, I cried. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. So here, the first stanza we see, the man is crying out, he's calling people to hire him, and he starts the day in the morning. Morning again, it symbolizes, new hope, new beginning. Okay, new hope. Every morning is a beginning of a new opportunity, a new hope for all of us. So the same thing was for this man also, and he is calling out for work, and the man comes all power and mighty, all powerful and mighty in his chariot with a sword in his hand, and he says, I will hire you with my power. Okay, but the man, he thought that his power counted for naught. That means, the man thought for a while, and he said that his power did not mean anything. It was not so important to me. Okay, it is not so important. He did not find it that he should bargain, or he should take this offer in exchange of power. Okay, so he turned him away, and the king left. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. Now, in the heat of the midday, again, this is afternoon, and it symbolizes, hot afternoon. I wandered along the crooked lane. He's walking through the crooked lanes, and an old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So the poet says that, in the afternoon, in the hot sun, when I was walking down the street and I was calling out to be hired, a man comes out with bag of gold. He has a bag of gold, and he thinks for a while. The old man thinks for a while, and he says that ponder means to think. Okay, ponder means to think. I will hire you with my money. So now the old man is offering him money to hire him. Then again the man thought for a while. Then he said, and he weighed his coins one by one. That means he's counting his his coins. He's counting his money. Okay, he's showing his money. Then the man thought for a while, and then he said, the money is not very important. It will come and go. Again, the man is thinking that, this money is not so important for me. It will come and go. So he turns away the man, because he did not think that money was also very important for him. Then in the third stanza we see that the man has, it is the evening. That means the evening is again the end of the day, and it symbolizes, the hope is getting smaller now, the hope is getting lesser now. The garden hedge was all aflower. The man reaches a garden and he says that the garden is filled with flowers, and a fair maid, a beautiful woman, lady, comes down and says, I will hire you with my smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So the poet says that this beautiful female, he came and he wanted to hire me. He wanted to hire me, and he says that I will hire you with a smile. But then the poet noticed that her smile paled and melted into tears. That means she was hiding her sorrows in her, her tears in that smile. She was hiding her smile in that, hiding her sorrow in that smile. Okay, she was putting up a disguise. Once again, happiness and sorrow, it is all part of life. It is not constant, right? In the first three paragraphs, we have realized that the man, the man has realized that power, money and beauty, or the smile, it is not permanent, right? It is not permanent. It will come and go. Okay, so that is what the man, that is why the man turned down their offers, and they are not so important. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. So in the fourth stanza, it says that, it was the evening now, and then he saw a child playing on the seashore, and he was playing with shell, and he saw the sun was glistening on the sand. Okay, and if you have noticed that the sunset is very beautiful on a beach. So this boy, he raised his head and said, I will hire you for nothing. That means I hire for nothing. I have no bargain. Okay, and I will give you nothing, cannot give you nothing. And the man says that from that on, the bargain struck in child's man and made me free. So this child is offering him a freedom. Okay, the last bargain is freedom. So the man gets freedom from the child. Okay, so this is the last bargain he accepted. Okay, this is the last bargain. Now in this poem, this child symbolizes the sun. It means that the sun gives everything freely. Okay, and you are free under the sun, and you are you are not bound to anything under the sun. You are free to work. You are liberated. That is what the last paragraph symbolizes. Okay, so this is the end of the poem. Children, if you have any doubt, you can please ask me or message me. We have discussed these question answers. Who is the speaker in the poem? The king, sword in hand, suggests all these questions we have discussed. There are few extra question answers which I want to share it with all of you, and I want all of you to do these question answers. I will share this paper, this document in Google Classroom. Why speaker denied the king's proposal in the poem The Last Bargain? What did the old man want? Was he successful in his bargain? Explain I hire you with nothing in reference to the poem. Okay, what does it mean? Then answer the following questions from first stanza. So these 5 questions are from the first stanza. Where was the poet walking? How did the king come to him? How did the king wanted to hire the man? Why did the king go away? And explain the line, but his power counted for naught. Okay, then this question number 5, you need to answer it from second stanza. Where was the man heading? Who came to him and what did he offer? Why did he turn away? Explain he weighed his coins one by one. Answer the following questions from third stanza. Where did the poet go in the evening? Who said, I will hire you? What did she offer to pay? Why had her smile pale? And the last is answer from the fourth stanza. Where was the child playing? What was the child doing? What did he tell the speaker? How did the poet become a free man? So these are some extra question answers. I want all of you to please write these question answers and share all your answers by tomorrow evening. Okay, the last date will be tomorrow evening 8 p.m. and the character sketch of the poet, which is very important. Alright, so students, I hope you have understood the lesson and enjoyed the poem as much as I have enjoyed in explaining it to you. In case of any doubt, please get back to me. Alright, thank you.